Informed Power podcast. I am Valerie. If you don't know, this is Ash. This is our guest today, Samantha Hardstead. She's a tattoo artist, and this is Danielle. We're going to dive in deep with Samantha today, and we are going to learn about, the struggles and the obstacles that she's had to face as a tattoo artist and owning her own business. Samantha, tell us.
All right. Hey, y'all. So I own Euclid Avenue Tattoo along with my husband. Actually, I'm an apprentice. So he's teaching me. He's the artist. He's been doing this for 14 years. We opened up in June of 22. We found a location in spring, and by summer, he was over the construction. We did the painting, the flooring, a lot of stuff ourselves, and he was over it. He's like, I'm ready to tattoo again. And we opened in June, and honestly, it's been like I blinked my eyes and now it's 2 years later, and it's been so fun knowing that people are permanently touched, permanently, they have that permanent memory and they have a good experience. To me, that's the main thing. That's a lot of what I do at our shop.
Yes.
It's making sure they're going to have a good experience, because tattoos are permanent.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yes,
If your experience isn't good, you're going to remember that forever.
Mm-hmm. So you do tattoos, but you do a lot of customer service with the people that are coming in as well.
Yeah,
just
so
making sure they're happy and content with everything that's going on.
Yeah. My main goal is to try to look at things from their perspective, mainly so that way my husband can focus in on his artistry and the tattooing aspect. And I feel like a lot of people has asked me, when will you start tattooing? And as I am learning, I am not in a rush, because it is a permanent thing, and I need to learn about this industry. I need to learn about my business and make sure my business functions in like a well-oiled machine before I'm able to say, okay, I'm going to tattoo and I'm going to give away my role and say, you need to do this now.
Yeah.
Or what will we do? Will I have a front desk person? Will we just handle it ourselves? That's something that I've been pondering for a while, mainly because what we do and everything that I do, it's a lot. And so I can't just turn it away to anyone who doesn't really have the experience in a tattoo shop.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that tattoo shop is your baby and you're afraid to give it to somebody else?
Yes.
Not
necessarily afraid, but
you don't want to give it to someone who doesn't think that that's their baby, because you put so much effort, blood, sweat, tears into making sure everybody that's coming in is welcome, that it's a different type of experience, and you don't want just some Joe Blow there ruining the experience for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we care a lot, and I think that's what's frustrating for small business owners who do care so much about what they do, is you put a lot of work into it, and you're working for yourself. And a lot of business owners, they don't pay themselves. They literally make sure they do not pay themselves, because they're focused on the long term. They're not focused on the quick buck. Mm-hmm. And when you're a business owner, even if you, like us, we're just a 2-person show.
Yep.
But we do have a brick and mortar shop. We treat it like a real shop, and we care so much. And so anyone we was to ever bring in would have to care just as much, if not even more than us, just so that way we could know we can trust them.
Absolutely.
And then with that being said, slow growth.
Yes.
Haste makes waste.
Now, do you pay for marketing, or you guys do everything organically?
I do it all.
Organically.
Organically. I do not. We rarely have ever boosted anything.
That's good.
I've rarely ever sponsored anything or had a sponsored post or a boost post.
Mm-hmm.
Our followers are 100% organic, to the point where if I think someone's a bot or a fake account, I'll just remove them from my following list.
Now, do you block them? Because
at times it also depends on, because you get those spam, the spam comments, or like follow this, follow that, and I don't really know what all of that. I don't know that much about that kind of thing, but I'm not going to attract any weird hacking accounts to be interacting with us. So yeah, I mean,
Right.
if it's a weird account or it looks like a bot or a fake follower, I'll remove them. You know, just because I do want a genuine following.
I love that.
Absolutely. So, knowing that like the Lexington market, so Euclid Avenue Tattoo is in Lexington. I'm not sure where Keith was before you guys opened up your own shop, but what made the two of you say, you know, I don't want to work like for somebody. I want to open up our own, knowing that the market in Lexington, there's how many tattoo shops? Like, what made you guys decide? Yes, there's a lot of them here, but we can do X, Y, Z different. We can provide this experience, because it's definitely the experience that you're providing as well as the great tattoos. Because I know, like in the Ladies of Lexington group on Facebook, somebody posts, guys, I need a fine line tattoo, or guys, I need a tattoo with like something like my last tattoo artist made me so uncomfortable. I don't want that experience. And people are like, let me tell you about Keith. Let me tell you about Euclid Avenue Tattoo. Like, you need to get down there and message them. They're the best. So it's not just the great artwork, but also the experience. So what was it that made you guys want to be like, hey, we want to open up our own?
Number one, it's something that he's wanted to do a long time. And when we first met, we shared our life aspirations. And I was like, look, I want more in my life. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to work hard for it. And he was like, you know, I want to do this. I want to do that. We've always wanted to own a shop. And I did my first tattoo on him like 6 or 7 years ago, honestly. I mean, I've been doing this for a little while. I'm not in a rush to do a bunch of, I just want everyone to like what they get.
Yeah.
So I've been watching him, and I've been studying, and I've been taking it seriously. And when we first relocated from North Carolina to here, that was actually the main goal. We wanted to open a shop. Mm-hmm. The locations that we were seeing weren't what we wanted. They weren't what we felt would bring what we're wanting to bring to the table. Right. And then obviously he's a tattoo artist, so he's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? He works. He's literally put in, you know, 7 days a week, 14 plus hours a day sometimes, rarely taking a day off. Yeah. Because one reason why I think a lot of artists branch out from working in tattoo shops, and maybe they want to open up like a studio, or in our case, an actual tattoo shop, is because the shop takes 50% of everything you make. So say, for example, you do a $75 tattoo, that artist makes $35. Ooh. And maybe if you tip them, they'll make a little bit more than that. And when you break all that down with like supply costs and things of that, they're only really covering their supplies, and they're maybe making $10. Right. And Keith, he is very much, you know, tattoo shops should be artist owned, but also he wants to learn about this, and I want to learn about this, so that way we're in this for the long haul. Artists, if we were to ever hire them one day, should be treated correctly. If you're getting a percentage taken, then that shop needs to take care of you.
Yes.
Right. If you are sitting there and you're not getting any work, that shop is not doing anything for you. And if you're sitting there and you're not doing anything all day, or if you don't want to go to the shop, you're not doing anything for that shop. Yep. So, you know, he wanted to create something that could, number one, be better for our family. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, look, I've been toiling all these ideas in my head about what could be done different, because every shop he's worked at, I've always been there. Other than the ones in Kentucky, I've never really put myself there, just because I didn't feel comfortable, and it's not my place to go into another shop and help unless I'm invited. Mm-hmm. Though when he lived in North Carolina, he managed and worked at a shop there, and I was there a large percentage of the time, helping, cleaning, talking with the customers. And so to me, I feel like seeing things from his perspective and then also a consumer's perspective, I had all these ideas of, okay, what our shop could be, like what it could really do. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to do more than just tattoo. Right. We wanted to help, kind of like what we did for Christmas.
Yes, so, I remember seeing posts about that.
That was one thing that I told him when I was like, if, you know, having a business, building our life, growing a business for ourselves would in turn put us in a position to be able to help others. And
So what did you do?
Oh, girl. Y'all about ready for a shot?
Yeah?
So,
You ready?
Who wants mine?
No. Can't back out now.
Damn it!
Let's go.
Let's go.
I can never.
Bourbon Boss Babes.
Bourbon Boss Babes.
Oops. That's what editing is for.
No, this is unfiltered.
I spit my back in the cup.
I love it.
You what?
I spit it in the cup.
I'm calling her out right now. Valerie did not do that shot. I see it sitting right there. And she told me that I could not skip, so we're just going to wait
Valerie.
until Valerie takes that shot.
Oh my goodness, Valerie.
We're just
I
going to
know
wait.
I know it.
We're just going to wait.
We're going to carry on.
Go for it.
Because if you want me to continue, like this is Jay Mattingly's spot. This is their bourbon that we are taste testing.
Y'all,
Frankfurt Hayride. And I'm telling you, it is the smoothest bourbon that they have.
this
But
place
if
is
you want
beautiful.
me to
Love it.
stay focused and not slur my words, I'm going to hold off on this shot until the end, okay?
She can do hers at the end.
She'll be alright.
It'll be
You
fine.
got this.
That's right.
Okay.
So, Christmas, toy. It was toy, right?
Yeah,
The flash
so
sheets and toy donation.
we actually, last year, we teamed up with this awesome company, or not company, organization called Operation Secret Santa.
Okay.
And
Hey, I know about
hell yeah.
Yeah.
If you know, you know, baby.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
So you all did that.
That was us. And it was a lot. And I didn't know what I was getting into, but we wanted to help.
Yeah.
And we were looking around like for a way we could be involved with the community, help in some shape or form. I looked at like maybe the animal hospital, things like that. I felt a hiccup.
Oh, no.
But no, so when I saw a post on Ladies of Lexington, actually,
Yeah.
from someone from the Operation Secret Santa looking for people to get involved in small businesses, I sent them a message. I was like, how can we be involved? And they're like, well, you can think of an incentive for people to want to donate toys, and we'll bring you a barrel. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. I talked with Keith, and he was like, huh, let's do some free tattoos. I was like, let's do it. So he
I would trade a toy for a tattoo any day.
it was almost
So y'all got swarmed.
within the first couple of days, he actually ran out of supplies.
Yeah.
And so we had to be like, hey, we got to wait till our supplies comes in. It was hectic because we didn't know it was going to be that much of a response from the community. We put it on, our social media and stuff
Girl,
like that.
people love tattoos.
Well, the next thing
And
I
you
know,
said free.
that plus the next thing I know, the Operation Secret Santa said, hey, I can't remember if it was Fox or I think it was WKYT. They were like, hey, they want to put you on the news. And I'm like, okay, I mean, whatever, it's for the kids, let's do this. So we got on there, and the story was, it got the word out. It got the word out 100%. And there were people calling, and they were asking for tattoos and they were like, if I bring a toy, can I get this and this and this for my grandma? And I'm like, no, honey. I'm sorry if you got, because the news kind of misconstrued it a smidge, which is fine, because I mean, hey, you need that exposure, you need them clicks.
It got them called.
It's what happens. But my phone was ringing off the hook. There were lines out the door. We were at capacity several times, and it's just keep. And I didn't know we didn't have anyone of any other shops or artists be like, hey, I see you're doing this. Do you need help?
Yeah.
We ran out of supplies. I actually called a shop that's local. And I even said, hey, I know you all sell supplies. Is there any way we can buy some supplies from you all? And they're like, no, we don't sell supplies. And I was like, okay, no one's going to help us. But we got this. So it was wild. He made a few, pre-drawn designs to choose from. Some people didn't like some of the designs. And they were like, well, we don't want a Christmas one. And I'm like, well, that's what this is about. It's a
Yeah.
holiday vibe. So we kind of dialed it down and had like 1 or 2 designs to choose from, just to kind of help with the influx of stuff.
Yeah.
We ended up having to make someone leave just because they were a little rude and things of that nature. And I can tell you all a little bit more about it off the record, but that's one reason why we ended up having to stop the toy drive, because it got to the point where I was like thinking, like, do I need to hire security and this and that? And it was just too much.
Yeah.
For our little shop.
Right.
So are you all planning on doing that again this year?
Honestly, I'm looking at thinking of something different for this year, to be honest. Not that I didn't like helping. Even my own kids, they donated their bikes that they couldn't ride anymore. We donated. My brother-in-law's company, they donated, and like we ended up filling the barrel 4 times.
Yeah.
Like
Love
we did our best. Keith did over 200 tattoos for free. And it was so much fun, and it was a learning experience, not only for us as far as like doing walk-ins, doing events like this and things like that. But unless we had other artists to maybe help us or something like that,
Well, you need a bouncer.
because there were so many people.
Right.
And even after we stopped doing it, if they donated a toy and we didn't have time to tattoo them that day, they still were allowed to come back and redeem their donation, get their free tattoo and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, and like I do not regret doing it.
Right.
It was just, in my mind, I was like, wow, like I'm happy that the turnout was there, but at the same time, I was like, if we do it again, I need help. Like we'll need more artists or maybe a different system to it all.
Supplies.
Because it
ready to go.
It was more than we suspected, because we didn't think it would be that big of a turnout, and it was so much fun. And but this year around, I've been researching a few different things, and I have a big heart for what's going on with this homeless community. It's wild right now. The Women's and Children's Center, domestic abuse, things like that. So all of those are things to me that mean a lot. And not that I don't want to help kids get toys, but I also want to like be able to use our platform with our business to try to see what else we can do in different variables and different avenues.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Trying to see what works best for you all.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel disheartened at all that like it's a free tattoo? It's for a good cause. Like you guys were clear. I saw the post. You guys were clear. Like, here are your options. Bring toy, get free tattoo, at these times. And when you guys had to go on break because you ran out of supplies, like you were very clear about that. Is it disheartening that still people were like, well, I don't want a Christmas one, and like people getting rude? It's like, it's for the kids, guys. It is Christmas time.
At the time,
Come on.
At the time, it was disheartening, mainly because it was that time of year. We were trying to be in the Christmas spirit.
And you have to pick someone else.
But at the same time, humans are humans, and humans are going to behave how humans do.
Yeah.
And, with the aspect that maybe like some people were not understanding what the whole thing was. That happens, because sometimes I don't read things clearly and I don't understand what's going on. And so I never really like let things like that bother me.
Right.
I think the most disheartening thing was the person we did have to kick out. They ended up wanting to take their donation out of the barrel and take it with them when they had to leave. And I'm like, this is just for the kids.
Right.
And they were upset and began to be rude with me because they had waited so long for it to be their turn. But they were the last person of the day, and
right.
And he's tattooing like over 50 people a day.
Right.
And he popped off rude to me. So my husband was just like, you do have to leave. And he was like, well, I want my donation. And he left. And to me, in my mind, I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. Like, it's for the kids. It's a toy.
Right. Like, if he was upset about having to wait and, like, it not being his turn, taking the toy back, that did nothing to you guys and everything to the kids.
To me, it showed just
showed
the
what
negative
kind of
aspect
person
of
he
people
was.
sometimes.
But
Yeah.
you know, in
But I
this
did- you
world,
know.
you have to deal with
Yeah.
those people. Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and stuff like that, to me, in my mind, it's not going to stop me. That's not going to stop me from helping people in the future.
It's gonna make me do it even better.
No,
like,
because
it's gonna make
when
me
you
want to
help
fight
people,
harder.
it is a ripple effect.
Mhm.
The more people you do try to help, and even if you can't help someone with everything, if you help in any type of way, that's a ripple effect, and then other people will value helping others more.
I love it. I love that you're like for working with the community, because I think that like tattoo artists, tattoo shops, they get a really bad reputation. Still, even
do.
though it's 2024,
Mhm.
but they get a bad reputation when it comes to things like that. So I admire that you were wanting to work with the community, and you guys are always welcome to help with anything we do.
Yeah. Oh, I love any opportunity I have to use my platform to help, even if it's just sharing
Yeah.
something on our shop page or something like that. To me, I think it's important.
Mhm.
Especially if you are a small business, you're a local business, you have to value the community you're in
Mhm.
and try to help in ways.
And this is why Samantha is a Bourbon Boss Babe, because she's all about collaboration. And that's why we love her, and she's right here.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I love y'all. This has been so much fun.
Collaboration,
It ain't
not
over, though.
competition.
No.
No, that's exactly what I say. I think everyone can use their platforms to collaborate. There's no sense in competing. Yeah, there's so many people here in Lexington that are owning businesses, and
Mhm.
I actually read that Lexington, Kentucky is one of the top cities for people to have small businesses and to open up small businesses.
I
And
believe
it's
it.
amazing. We love supporting local businesses here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to know, like, have you guys ever failed? Like, you personally?
Feel like you failed at something?
Oh yeah.
Because I want to know, like, you know, there's more women that's going to watch this than men, right?
Yes.
So they want to know, like, have you failed? What obstacles was you faced against, and how you overcame that? Because that's going to help the next women entrepreneur to say, hey, yeah, I fell, but I have to get up and keep going. Because
Yeah.
no one's going to do it for me. And of course, you know, like in Bourbon Boss Babes, our slogan is no woman walks alone. So we want all women to know that we are here for you. We're going to help you any way we can. And if we can't, we're going to reach out and we are going to get those resources that you need, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by you sharing your story of how you felt, that you did whatever you needed to do to get back up, to keep going, is going to help that woman that's struggling right now.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so many women out here, you know, that may be a single mom that has a business with the inflammation.
Inflation?
That's
Infliction?
it. That's it.
Someone
That's
take
it.
her burger.
Exactly. You know,
I can catch up to y'all. I'll take it now.
the cost of everything going up. Like, how is a woman supposed to keep going when she falls? Because if she doesn't have that support group, she's going to fall and she's going to think, I can't get up from this.
Mhm.
But we want all women to know that you have to get up.
Yeah.
You have to keep going. Like, yes, this is, you know, it's raining on your parade right now, but it's not going to rain forever, right?
Yeah.
So what struggles have you had to go through, and you came up like, hey, this is what I went through, but look at me now.
Yeah. Honestly, just in general with my life and everything that I've worked towards, the main struggle and the main thing as far as like when you feel like you failed is it's an inward thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times as women, we often feel like we fail, not only like I think internally, a lot of women, especially mothers, and you know, when you're a cat mom, girl, you the same thing as a mom with a human baby. But I feel like you fail yourself, and you're
Yes.
almost afraid to even admit it to yourself
Mhm.
that you're like, damn, I failed myself.
Yep.
And and that feeling comes whether you did something within a job, work, communicating, whatever. Sometimes things happen throughout the day, and we hold on to those little things that happen, and we're like, oh, well, this happened. I failed this, or I failed that. But really, it is actually stringing to the fact that you deep down, it's a bigger picture to us women. And we feel like, oh, damn, I failed myself.
Yep.
Because I did this, or because I feel like I failed in this way or that, with the bigger picture, I'm failing myself.
Yep.
And I think a lot of times as women, like I don't have a big support group. I don't have a group of women that I'm always in touch with every single day.
Yeah.
Like I interact with you guys, and I interact with a couple girls on Ladies of Lex and things like that, but I don't have that. And so I have to actually be that for myself. So there's so many times that to me, I think like talking to yourself in the mirror, reflecting, writing your goals, aspirations, your fears, things down. Even if you don't have time to write it down, just have it in your brain, talk to yourself. And the key is, as far as like that failure thing, in order to be able to get past that and to use the feeling that you felt and work with that and grow from that, is to not be hard on yourself. Do not sweat all these small little details, and also know that it is okay to communicate and speak up for yourself. And if someone doesn't have the time to hear you out when you're speaking up for yourself, another person, whatever, then they're not valid. They're just not, they're not on that same wavelength or level, and that's okay.
Yep.
And that is okay.
That's exactly right.
And us as women every day, there are going to be, like I said, there's going to be that small little things, you're sweating that small stuff, and you're going to think about that. And that's going to kind of get to you. But the way to get out of that whole feeling like I'm failing or I failed myself, and that's one thing that I love that you all post about, is self-care, taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Every day.
Yep.
Every day. Don't, and that's the thing. If you feel like you're going to neglect yourself, I'm good. I don't care who you are. You can be a complete stranger. You can message me today and be like, girl, I'm feeling terrible. I'm like, you know what, bitch, I am too. What should we do? What should we do? How can we make our day better?
Yes.
Let's go shower. You go shower. I'm going to go shower. I'm going to put some music on, and then also it's okay. It's okay to not feel okay.
Yep.
That is okay too.
Yep.
You don't have to be positive all the time.
Exactly.
It's okay to feel things 100%. And a lot of times I think women, we're so used to like not speaking on how we feel or what we're thinking because we don't want to like inconvenience people around us.
What's the whole
But that's
imposter syndrome?
Yes.
And that's exactly
what it is.
issue.
And that's the issue.
Yep.
You can't let yourself do that. You have to be able to open up.
Yep.
Right. You know what I mean? You have to be able to be honest. And not to take it back to tattooing. But that's one thing at our shop that I promote this 100%, and it's speaking up. You communicate. You tell us how you feel. Me and my husband, we have this thing, and it's like we tell people, like, it's permanent. It's permanent. It's permanent.
Yeah.
And he and I, we have this weird, like, secret language. So, like, if I'm busy and he's doing a stencil on someone, and he's been doing it, like I said, he's been doing this for over 14 years.
Yeah.
He can tell on someone's face if maybe they might have some
Doubt.
input or doubt or they're thinking something. Like, you could tell when someone's 100%. And then you can also tell when someone maybe might not be that sure.
Right.
Or, number one, professional people who care about their clientele should be able to tell this, okay?
Yeah.
He'll come in and he'll say, hey, Samantha, you want to take a look at this stencil and see how it looks? And I'm thinking, like, you know how to stencil? You know what you're doing? But it's because he knows that the client
Probably
is,
100.
you know what I'm saying? And so once I get in there, and this is my thing. I want that client to feel comfortable. They can talk to us about anything. I don't care if it's a tattoo that you want to get 20 years from now. Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
And I can tell, like, I'll look at the stencil, and I'll look up at their face, and I'll look at that stencil, just so they'll think, I'm checking the stencil.
Yeah.
But I look at their face, and I'm like, and I see something, and I'm like, well, maybe, do you think, like, this little area, like, it should be over this way a little bit, or maybe, like, move the whole thing up just a hair? Yeah. And then the client will be like, oh, do you see that too? And I'm like, yeah, babe, like, I got you. I'm your advocate, honey. Like, if you're afraid to speak up, mama gonna speak up for you. Like, and then they start realizing, oh, these people, I can tell them how I feel about my tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we'll re-stencil it a couple more times.
I really wish that I've been to tattoo artists like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish too, baby. Like, I wish you was too. It's not fair. I cared so much.
It was just one tattoo I have. I did not like the placement of it, and I kept saying like, "Hey, can you bring it down? Can you bring it down?" And he was like, "Oh, I already got the stencil on there," and I was like,
"So move it, wipe it off, and move it."
The stencil ain't permanent,
right?
I know. I was like, "Okay,
the ink is permanent."
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I we set a price, and then when I went to leave, it went up.
That's not okay.
Like a terrible amount of money, and I didn't feel like it was worth it. I never went to him again.
No, that's not okay. I actually hear that a lot. Not
and you
only
don't
about
say anything. You don't tell them that. That's the thing about a tattoo artist is they're not gonna open your mouth and be like, "Brian, I'm never coming to see you again."
Hell nah. You treat it like it is a Wendy's.
Yes.
That artist is not about to tell me this ain't no Wendy's. You go up and you'll be like, "Look, this is what I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you told me I was paying for, and this is how much it was."
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I just put my money.
It's not okay when money is involved to not be 100% clear.
Right.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Like the last time I got tattoos was a few. So I was supposed to get 3. Tattoo artist has some health issues. It's fine. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But like I told them, I was like, they have this thing where like we've been done with a couple of mine, and I'm like, tell me how much it's already done. Tattoo's already done.
Yeah.
They give me an estimate online, like for the spacing, the size, whatever. And then we actually do it and like make sure the stencil's good, and they place it, and they're like, yes, this is still agreed upon price, and like we'll add color, we'll do like by time, because they used to charge by time instead of piece.
Yeah.
And so I go and I'm like, you tell me what your art is worth. I will bring that amount. Like if that's what you're charging and I want you to do this art, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Then there's a time like we have these pieces planned. You know what your art is worth. I have this amount of money. When we get there, stop me. Like, this is what
you've told them your budget.
Right, exactly. Never had an issue with that. But so many people, like in Ashley's situation, will not be like, oh, how much? And then they're like,
y'all want to know what that remind me of?
And then they get blindsided.
That remind me of this shady ass stripper sometime. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Some of them girls will let you keep going and going, and then you realize, oh shoot, I owe a lot of money.
This is how I feel though, right? Like
that's a little scammy, right?
I've always been big about giving a tip for my tattoos.
Yeah.
Big as hell about it. Just like when I get my hair done, I'm giving you a tip.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Especially if they're interacting and
right,
talking.
and then most people don't have cash on them now, so I took out a specific amount of money.
Yep.
In order to pay for my tattoo, and then a good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel some type of way because I'm not giving you a tip
because you raised
my price,
mm-hmm.
and I'm also not going to say anything to you. Damn. Right. Damn. Now I got a weird cartoon looking tattoo I don't want on my forearm.
Girls, y'all want to know something? That's actually kind of the norm sometimes in certain types of shops. Mm-hmm. Which that's one reason why at our shop we do things so differently. Mm-hmm. We always have, like, as far as like estimate, that's an estimate. And right. I would never, ever, ever think that it's okay to schedule an appointment and start actually doing that work if I've only told you an estimate.
Right.
That's weird. That to me, I feel like, what are we doing? Are we professional? Is this a real business? What's happening? I don't know. We've been open for 2 years, and so we've done things so many different. We used to be appointment only. Mm-hmm. Like that time you were like, hey girl, I tried to pop in, the door was locked, and I messaged you back. I was like, Keith, I was like, I was like, Keith left, so I needed to use the restroom, and so I just locked the door, and I was like, I'm not, I was waiting on an appointment to show up and everything like that, and still, I just was like, I locked the door, whatever, but we were appointment only.
Right.
Then for a while, we did appointments, walk-ins, And then we were like, okay, we got so busy we had to go back to appointment only.
Mhm.
And then Keith was like, you know what, I actually really did enjoy doing walk-ins. He was like, do you think that this is going to be crazy for us to keep changing things up? And I'm like, look, this is our business.
Yeah.
We're only, at that point, we were about a year old. And I was like, we're only a year old. Like, we're not set in stone with how we do things. If we need to change it up, change how we do something, that's okay.
Mhm.
And so at this point right now, what we figured out works best for us right now is we do walk-ins all the time.
Mhm.
And then as far as like booking, if someone wants to book an appointment, usually that appointment is going to be around 5 hours, especially if it's a larger piece. And even if it's smaller piece or this and that, you can still book this type of appointment, but we only book 5-hour blocks for us. So that way we know, okay, you're serious about the tattoo. You're going to show up. We're going to give you all day. All the consulting, designing is done with you. He likes to do all the designing together with that client. And then they get to tattoo. And if it's not that type of appointment, we just do walk-ins. Because they'll do large stuff as walk-ins. We'll do small stuff as walk-ins. And for us, it's just easier. We open up. The walk-ins come. Sometimes we do single needle fine line stuff all night. Sometimes we do pre-drawn stuff all night. And he likes the spontaneity of it.
Mhm.
And I don't know. There's just so many different variables as to why we do it this way. I have to go into big depth about it. But for us, it just works. Like, someone calls me and they're like, hey, I really want this. I'm like, cool. We open up at this time. Show up when we open. Got you. You can get your tattoo right then. You don't have to put no deposit, no booking fee. And then you don't have to worry about if for some reason you can't keep your appointment or if you need to reschedule. We don't have to do any of that. When we're open.
Mhm.
If you want to get in right when we open, just come in when we open. And you get what you want tattooed. Sometimes I feel like when we do, like we used to do it really drawn out.
Mhm.
And we would just be like, okay, we'll do a consultation and then we'll book you. And it got to the point where our books were so filled that I would have to give them their appointment way in the future. Right. And if you're anything like me, once I kind of know what I want, I kind of need to go ahead and get it, or I'll change my mind. Yes. Or, things happen in your life. Maybe you need to reschedule. Maybe you had just business come up. You got to travel or whatever.
Mhm.
So to me, I kind of like the way we're doing it right now. We're testing out the waters.
Mhm.
And the fact that we take walk-ins,
Mhm.
it's fun because every day we meet someone new. We have regulars come in. And sometimes our regulars, they'll just pop in and they'll be like, I don't even want a tattoo. I just wanted to hang out and see who was getting tattooed today.
Aww.
And they'll hang out for a few hours.
I love that.
And and to me, in my mind, the universe works in such weird ways, because usually when that happens, there'll be someone who's like, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
And then a regular will show up.
Yes.
And they'll be like, girl, I done been here a million times. You're all right. And so it's a community.
Mhm.
It's not just saying, hey, we're going to get you in. We're going to get you out. Bye. See you whenever. No. You come up in our shop, we family.
You're like family.
We are family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, having fun events makes it like,
Yes.
Like the Taylor Swift was it karaoke that was Taylor Swift, or was it just Taylor Swift tattoos?
Everyone asks me that because we do so much karaoke nights.
Okay,
people are like, was Taylor Swift karaoke? And I'm like, you know what? By the time I even had that cross my mind, my DJ was booked with a whole different gig. And my cousin's my DJ, and I'm pretty loyal to him.
Mhm.
But we did friendship bracelets, and it was really fun. And I was gonna make some cool Taylor Swift bracelets ahead of time to trade with people.
Mhm.
But business women stuff, we ain't got no time for some stuff sometimes.
Amen.
So I just ordered some.
That's why
that
they work
the
till 3 in the morning.
And it was fun. I had them all on my wrists.
Aww.
We were making bracelets. People were trading with me. And I still have a bunch of Taylor Swift stickers. And then the flash is still in the $40 book.
Look
so
at that.
if someone gets the flash, I like throwing a Taylor Swift sticker with their aftercare.
Oh.
And I like that.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's little tiny touches like that really, really makes a business what it can be.
Yep.
And it shows you care. It shows you took the time. And I'm a sentimental person.
Right.
So I imagine, like, if I went somewhere and I got my tattoo and I'm opening up my aftercare and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's candy. There's candy in here. There's a sticker.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know. I'll be going through my stickers. I'm like, what kind of sticker would this person like? It's embarrassing.
I like that though. That's cute.
Right.
I would be happy to get some candy.
Hey, I feel bad when I run out of candy and I have to give people aftercare with nothing. Because after you get a tattoo, sometimes you're a little shaky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your sugar's low.
Yeah.
You got that adrenaline. And so I'm like, I don't want anyone to leave out the door with like a little sweet treat.
Right.
That's the grandma in me, I guess. It's the Kentucky woman.
There you go.
So,
what is your
I talked
favorite
to her,
style of tattooing?
oh Lord.
My butt hurts.
Shoo. To be honest, I honestly can't answer that because I like so many different types of tattooing.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's a well done tattoo, I guess that's my thing. If it looks like the artist wasn't really.
As an example?
Well, honey, when did you get this though?
Not that long ago.
No.
Wait, what?
2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, you can actually get this. You can get this fixed, honey.
I know.
You can.
Thank
You need a
God.
little color in there, little this, little that.
I thought the sunflowers were supposed to be yellow. That's not yellow.
He said, I thought sunflowers were supposed to be yellow.
Well, no, this is what Danielle was discussing earlier, that sometimes artists won't tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
It
one
never
thing.
looked yellow. That was my thing.
Yeah.
And then he put yellow in it, and then he was going back over it with black. And I was like, oh, he's just making some shades or something. I'm like, nah, man.
I'm curious as to why he did that.
I think he was on meth.
Oh,
Girl, okay.
Ashley.
You gotta research your artist.
Amen.
It happens.
Amen.
Everyone has bad tattoos. Girl, I've been tattooed by people and I've got bad tattoos. But as far as
cover them?
it'll happen.
Cover them up? Okay.
This one was covered.
Mm-hmm.
This one was bad, and the one on my rib was bad. It wasn't badly done, but that's another story, and I'll tell you about it in a second.
Okay.
And then, so I've been tattooed by 3 other people. The one on my back, my first tattoo, awesome. Still looks right to this day. I went to the old Bleed Blue. The old Bleed Blue.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. They're awesome. There was a guy there named Barry. He did my first tattoo. It was on my back, and then he was done, and I'm like, wow, like that was amazing. I wanted it to keep. I wanted him to do more. Like it felt great. But I think the thing is, like, I like so many different styles. I like tribal. I like traditional. I like everything. As long as it's done and it looks like that artist truly cared about their craft, I'll love it. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not something that I would get, I like it.
Do you have a favorite to practice?
Right now, to be honest, I've never used any type of needle other than a tight 3 and a single needle. Okay. And that's so crazy because you're actually not really supposed to learn with that kind of stuff. That's prestigious and a little bit, ambitious. But I like trying it mainly because, like, in my mind, I look at what I do, especially like if I do something on fake skin, and I'm like, this is shit. Oh. And I'm like, literally, this is bad. And Keith's like, it's good. And I'm like, no, I need work.
You're blind, sir.
And then he's like, but the reason why is everyone's going to be hard on themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's good for artists to be hard on themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's also good for artists to be a little honest about, hey, I may not be able to do that style, but this is what I can do. And work with you with what you like.
Right.
And work with you with what they can do. Or recommend someone that they prefer. Girl, what you eat? Is that a Girl Scout cookie?
Valerie is gone.
Valerie disappeared and come back with snacks. And not even
legit a Girl Scout cookie.
And it's probably so Jay Mattingly not only sells bourbon, but they also sell wonderful treats. Fudge.
Brittle. Bourbon brittle.
Yes. And
that
clearly our co-host has snagged some.
But sometimes you just need a chocolate cluster. Because when you drink the bourbon,
Sometimes
it's just
or when
like
you're drunk.
you just get a little tipsy. And plus, when you do the back-to-back,
Oh my god.
oh my goodness, girl.
Ooh, that's
Taste
That's
that.
everything.
Taste that.
It's
Taste that.
everything.
It's delicious.
It's sweet and salty.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sometimes
was
you
wondering
just
where you went.
sometimes you just need those nuts in your mouth. As a woman, you understand this, right?
I mean, hey, sometimes after they work all day.
See there?
Ew.
What else we want to talk about, y'all? Because we're going to talk about more tattooing stuff, more episodes.
I want to talk about
We're gonna have to have a part
what you
two.
did
What's
before.
your favorite job that you've ever had?
No, I want
my
to talk
favorite
about
job I've ever had.
what
Yeah.
she did before tattooing.
Well, I was hoping that would
I
be
once
the
worked
favorite.
in a senior citizen center.
Nope. Skip. Second favorite job.
Well, I have worked in a strip club, which is a little similar to a senior citizen center.
That's
I
what
can
we want to talk
imagine
about.
it is.
That's what we
Let's
want to talk
talk
about.
about it.
Okay.
Okay, you want to talk about the one near, local, or the one
Oh,
in
gosh.
another state? Which one? Okay, which one was your favorite? Which state
Honestly-
treats their dancers better? Or neither?
Honestly, my favorite gig I ever did was my first stripper gig, which was not at a club.
Oh.
Where was it?
It
Like a
was
birthday party? Like,
at
did you pop out of the
somebody's
cake?
house in Richmond.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
And it was a birthday party,
I knew it.
but also a poker game.
Okay.
yeah.
And I poured and served the drinks, as well as we did, like an intermission, I guess you can call
Yeah.
it. So we stopped in the middle of like their poker game, and I did like a dance, and then like more towards the end, I did a whole nother dance. I'm sure there's some pictures out there of me putting my boobies on this dude who was passed out drunk.
Oh.
Don't know where those would be.
I am
Don't try to
not
find them.
a good person. If you gave me this job, my nipple's going in your mouth and I'm taking a photo. Don't be asleep. I'm sorry.
I mean, hey. But no, honestly, that was honestly my favorite. I'll never forget that.
It was low key
Yeah.
and cool.
So what it was a friend of mine. She and I were really good friends, and we had this whole big friend group. And there was somebody that was kind of like within the friend group, not like within my say. So our friend group has like so many different realms. So it wasn't within my immediate, I guess, family of friend group,
Yeah.
but it was on the outskirts. And so they were like, hey, he hired a stripper. They can't come. This is really short notice. Would you be interested in doing this? I'd never stripped before. I'd never worked in a club. I did not have pleaser heels. All I did at that time was a premium snap.
Okay.
And they knew I did a premium snap.
Okay.
I was in college. I needed the money. I needed it. And I was like, I'm so glad y'all thought of me. Thank you. Okay. I was a little nervous, but I did it anyway. And I took a good shower before I went. And it was great because it was like someone that I knew was going to be there to keep an eye on me and to make sure I was safe.
Yes.
Right.
I wouldn't have done it if somebody I knew wasn't going to be there.
Right.
Because there was also people that I didn't know.
Mhm.
Okay. This was back in like 2015, 16.
Okay.
Okay. I've been dancing in clubs since 2017.
Okay.
So I was in college. I needed it. So I was like, cool. I took me a good shower, got all oiled up with some coconut oil. No pole at their house. So it's not like I didn't even know anything about that. I didn't even know what I was doing, the songs or anything. I had me a little schoolgirl skirt, had me a little stuff, bikinis and shit. So I just threw everything in a bag and I went. And it was cool because I was just like, you know what? This is fun. Like, I'm just pouring them drinks and they're just playing bourbon and ignoring me. Like, cool. Yeah. The first and last time I've ever had pappies. It's awesome.
It's expensive.
It's very nice. Okay. So they had fun. I was like shooting the shit. I was like, cutting up and stuff with them, making them laugh and everything. And this dude, he was like, every time he would have me refill his drink, he was tipping me and everything. Like, it was so nice. I was like, oh, damn. I thought I was just, because I had a flat rate. They even had me sign a contract. I signed them. I had a copy of it, everything.
Okay.
And
They were pro
they
about
knew
it.
I wasn't professional. You know, they knew all that. They
Yeah.
understood.
Mhm.
But they wanted to protect themselves, and I wanted to protect myself too.
Yeah.
No cameras and anything like that. You know, and so finally it was time for me to do my first little performance. So the first ever song that I've ever danced to or stripped to was Pour That Sugar on Me. Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Classic.
Oh, that's a good one.
And
okay.
I just did my thing. I was just
Got
trying
it.
to be natural. I was just wanting him to have a good birthday.
Aw.
I didn't know, and he was like, "Hey, come get on top of me, put my boobies in your face." I was like, "I guess that's what I'm supposed to do." So I did it. I was like, "I hope they're good enough."
She
You
said,
know,
"So I did
I
it."
mean, and I did it, and everything. And I already said, I was like, "Look, I'm not going full nude. I'm keeping." I had a nude thong on.
Okay.
And it was super stringy, G-string type.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll go this, and I'm not going to take it off.
Yeah.
And then at one point, you know, he was like, oh, I'm going to give you an extra some odd $100 if you flash me your kitty to the birthday boy. I did. I flashed it.
She said, "So
I didn't keep it out the whole time, but why not? Who cares? You're just looking at it.
Right.
No one touched me inappropriately.
Good.
I love
no
it.
one was.
Yeah.
Everyone was so like good manners. Thank you. They were like, you really don't strip in a club? You're not a professional. I had dance team, so it's like I just was
I remember
doing
those
what I
things.
thought they would like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't know. If I, looking back at that, was to do it now, being experienced like I am now, I probably would have done it a lot different.
But you live and you learn,
you live and you learn.
and then you went to the club.
It was awesome because that showed me that I can. That's
They
okay.
give you the
Okay.
confidence.
Let me say this. Number one, money and how much you make does not equate to what you are worth. It doesn't equate to how you should feel about yourself ever.
Amen.
But after that, I was like, in my mind, I was like, you know what? Because a lot of it is how you interact with someone.
Yes.
How you talk with someone. It's not how you look, what you do, whatever.
Yep.
It's how you interact. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? I have the ability to go farther in my life than what I'm doing now.
Exactly.
And it wasn't about whether or not, like, oh, I gotta show my body or this and that. It was more about like, I took a risk.
Yeah.
And now I'm leaving here with a little over almost like, I mean, this was years ago. Like, obviously, this was like 2016.
Mhm.
I left with over $500. And they literally said, like, you'll make exactly this, but with all the tips included.
Right.
And I was only there for 3.5 hours.
It's not bad.
So to be there for 3.5 hours and to leave
Make over 500.
with a couple $100 shy of a grand,
Mm-hmm.
when you leave with half a grand,
Yep.
and you were only there for 3 hours,
But
and you only had to dance a few times,
I'm sold.
Right.
Where
and
we
flash
going?
your- like, you know what I'm saying? She said, "Where are we going?"
I'm sold. I don't care. I love my body.
I like it too. I like everybody's body.
I slap
So
somebody with
I'm
my
a
boot.
pro everything kind of body.
So what strip club did you get into after that?
So that was around 2015-16.
And was that
And
in
then-
Kentucky?
That was here in Kentucky, in Richmond. And then when I moved to North Carolina, it was around 2017, right around Trump was elected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I started working at a strip club there in North Carolina in Charlotte called the Paper Doll Lounge.
Okay.
That's the oldest strip club in that area. They're like, at that time, they were over 50 years old.
Oh, wow.
And it was the oldest one. Like,
Right.
and I loved that club. That's still my home club. Me and the owner are still good. I can go back there and dance anytime I want. I love that place. The lockers were pink. It was, and the girls there we were pretty close. Like we, you know, obviously not everyone's going to be close with each other,
Yeah.
but for the most part, us main girls, we were close. I don't know what it's like there now, but it was so much fun. And back in those days, the money was good. It was active. And it was so much fun. And it was different. There were regular girls there that had been there for years that were teaching me pole. For the first time in my life, I was like, wow, I have a community of girls.
Yeah.
And I realized, because I have never had a group of girls, I keep touching boobs.
You're good.
I keep touching yours too, and I'm really
It's
sorry.
okay. I like it.
But I've never had that like group of girlfriends. Like I've never had that. I'm on the spectrum, obviously. You know, I've had 2 brothers, a little bit of a loner. I became a mom at a young age and stuff like that. And so I never really had that like clique or girlfriends or feminine community, commodity type thing. And when I began working in the club, for the most part, I was like, this is where I belong.
Mm-hmm.
Even still, even though I haven't worked in the club in a few months, like 6 months or so. I've taken a break, had some health stuff. Even still, in my mind, I will always go to a strip club and work.
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
Look, bring back the plus size strip clubs. Me and
I would
Sam
love to
go.
own me a strip club. Sure,
Hey, there we
sure.
How's your husband about you stripping?
Probably full of support.
So to rewind to my first gig, the one that is like stands out to me the most and I love.
Tell me he was there.
He wasn't there, but me and him actually first started dating. We were long distance for like a year and a half. He lived in North Carolina and I still lived in Kentucky.
Okay.
And I said, hey, you know, someone asked me if I wanted to do this gig. He already knew about my premium snap. He knew I was kinky, things like that. And he was like, I support you 100%. He was like, you're a great performer.
Yeah.
You're great at what you do. And he knows, to me, in my mind, I love connecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like anyone should ever be, you should never, hold back on connecting with people, no matter what.
Yeah.
Obviously, within your consent, but you should connect with people throughout your life. And to me, dancing and stripping or whatever, it's not just, oh, I'm doing this and you need to give me money. This is, hey, we're gonna make a connection in some way, and you're gonna remember me, and that's why you feel like spending your currency is worth you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's a value within it.
Yep.
It's not just, oh, I'm showing you my body, I'm dancing on you. It's, we're making a connection.
Yeah.
And he knows that I value that in so many different ways, even if it is business. Like, it's okay, you can make connection within business.
Yeah.
You should.
Right.
And he always supported me. He was like, go do it. He was like, make sure you let me know when you're home safe. If anybody fucks with you, you tell me. Go do it.
So he was never jealous.
Never.
That's good.
Ever.
You got very lucky.
If anything, I would get jealous because there was one time he came to the club to watch me perform. And he just thought he was supposed to tip every dancer.
Oh,
which,
no.
you know what, as a dancer, y'all should tip every dancer, especially if you're sitting in front of the stage.
But not
You
you.
should tip. Okay, but I had to go back to the locker room, and as I was turning back to look at him, he was tipping somebody. I'm like, I know you didn't. He was like, look, I thought I was supposed to tip everyone. I'm like, you know what? Thank you for tipping everybody. I'm just being a girl. And he was like, you tell me who you want me to tip. And I was like, all right.
Well, me.
I'm going to tell you who I like.
So there was no jealousy of you doing like lap dances and that
No.
kind of thing.
No.
Because he knew that at the end of the day, it didn't mean anything, and you was coming home to him.
Yes, exactly. It's business.
Yes.
It's business. And not trying to be weird, but you have to think of it like this. Like, okay, cool. I'm dancing on the guy. He's got his face right here. Cool. He gets to put his face there.
Yeah.
But my husband gets to put a lot more there than just his face. And he's like, I mean, if they want to put their face there, that's cool. I've been there.
I love it.
I've been there too.
Look, I've told people for years and years, give me a plus size strip club. I'd be in there making some money.
You would.
Yes, I would.
Hey, men
love the big ladies.
Men are not as honest about their interests as they should be.
Yeah.
But because I have done this type of work, I've had a lot of men open up to me about stuff.
Yeah.
Men are so complex. Like, you would not believe it. Honestly, we're men and they're women. To be like, we're the guys. We are the guys. They're the girls. if you think of it in all the stereotypical, well, girls are this and guys are that. Look, I don't know about you, but you seem pretty emotional to me.
Mm-hmm.
You seem pretty worked up. I can handle myself.
Yeah.
So, what has been the weirdest dance you've ever had to do on a guy?
Or
Oh
like
my gosh.
requests. Like you get
God.
the VIP and they're like, hey, can we XYZ? And you're like,
Oh,
what?
no, honey. That's every time.
Oh, God.
9 times out of 10. Okay, 8 times out of 10.
8 times.
I'm trying to give these guys the benefit of the doubt, man.
Why?
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
8.99 times out of 10. 9.99. 100% of the time,
There you
a
go.
dude is going to be like, hey. And you're just like, no. Just dial it back.
How about
Dial
you
it
sit
back.
over there?
You see what happens on
What?
TV and strip club? Less than that. Less than that. No, I'm just playing.
So what do they ask for?
No, I mean, sometimes dudes do. They'll say, hey, you know, I got a hotel room. I got $100, and I'm just like,
$100?
$100?
Bruh.
no,
You don't have the budget for that, sir.
no. But I mean, guys ask it. They're always gonna ask it. They always will. 99.9% of the time. I'm sorry, ladies. Even if you just got married to them, even if you're pregnant, if they're going to a strip club, most of the time they ask, what's their chances of getting with you? And you have, as a businesswoman,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be like, okay, number one, is this guy going to spend any money?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is yes, then usually you're just like, you know, I just gotta get to know ya, and you know, like, you know, you've never even got to dance, and blah 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 blah. If the answer is they're most likely not gonna spend any money, you just like, dude, that just doesn't happen. Like, it's never gonna happen. You just tell them the truth,
Right.
because at that point it doesn't matter, because they're not gonna spend any money.
Right.
So you might as well be real.
Yeah.
But sometimes the guys that will spend money, they know
Yep.
the
That there
reality
ain't no
of it.
way.
And they know that you're just feeding into the fantasy of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the game.
Right.
They want you to entertain them. They want to feel their feelings. And sometimes when you go to a strip club,
Mhm.
you realize, like, hey, I'm a wallet to her. And so therefore they realize I am going to utilize her to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
And so then we become babysitter, therapist, mother, sister, daughter, everything.
Yep. And it sucks for you being the stripper.
And it doesn't really, it's not that it sucks. It's, to me,
It gets you
I
regulars.
learn a lot about just humans in general.
Mhm.
To me, being a stripper is like going to psychology class. I mean, you're gonna learn a lot, especially if you're on the path that I've always been. So there's so many, like, just with tattooing, there's so many different stereotypes. Like you said, oh, he was probably on meth. A lot
No,
of
he
people,
was on
girl,
meth.
and that's the thing. A lot of tattoo artists,
It's a
a lot of
stereotype for a
strippers,
reason.
They do
Some substances.
they do feed into the stereotype.
Yeah.
But also, that's not 100% true with every single person.
Right.
And something that I learned, there's a feller who works near us, and he's worked in strip clubs and stuff his whole life. And he literally said, it's not what you do, it's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you do for a living, it's
Yeah.
who you are as a person. You know?
Absolutely.
And there's dancers out there that there's dancers OD'd in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, my heart is breaking for them.
Yeah.
Because I have my head on straight, and that's not me.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't realize, like, it's a trap house, because you can get trapped. And if you go into it as deep as it can drag you, you will get trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have to actually go into it. If you're going to dance or whatever, you have to go into it knowing what you're doing. You have to know, okay, am I trying to make money? Am I trying to be a business person? Am I trying to build a brand name for myself? Or am I just doing this for a quick buck? Same with tattooing.
Mhm.
Some people care a lot about learning as much as they can about tattooing, learning as much as they can about how to please that customer, how to run the business, different types of styles. They care, but sometimes they're just like, oh, cool. The client seemed happy. They didn't complain. I got my money. It looks okay. And they're just like half-assing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're just in it for that little quick, fast buck.
Mhm.
And that's why you have girls who they'll dance and then they stop dancing and they're like, yeah, it dragged me in and I was on drugs. And it's like, okay, but you choose to do that.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what you do in your life. You choose what else you do.
Right.
And then there's also, I know a girl in the club in Charlotte at Paper Dawn.
Mhm.
She had been there for, she was in her 40s when I was in there.
Woo. It's a long career.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know much about her, but you're either in it for that quick buck or you're in it because, like, that's what you love to do. You make good money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're able to take breaks if you need to or want to. You're not just a slave to it every night to get that money.
Yeah. Did you have?
I'm sold.
Did you have?
When are you opening up the strip club?
Girl, let's invest.
Did you have regulars that came in just to like see you? Because I feel like you would.
I did, but at the same time, I've never been the type of person that's like, oh, girl, you better not dance for my regular. I've had girls being like that towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, look, if he wants to dance with me, I'm not going to tell him no.
Right.
You're not my boss, ma'am.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times, especially at Paper Doll, we shared regulars.
Yeah.
That's nice though. So like the place had regulars, like y'all didn't have regulars.
Yeah. We got that Boss Bourbon.
So
babes
tell
up in
me
here.
about the 2 episodes you want to tell us about.
Okay. Weird. You asked me, like, what were some weird experiences with dancing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, this has never happened in Kentucky. This was all in North Carolina.
Okay.
One of my, when I first started dancing, I just jumped straight into it. So, I was like, on my 3rd night in a row, just started dancing. And this group of guys came in, and I had seen the guy, there was one guy there that I had seen every night since I had started. Sorry, sometimes bourbon be making me hiccup. Okay, and so he was like, look, I love you, you're awesome. Me and my buddies are here. We're celebrating my friend who was in a motorcycle accident. And I was like, okay, cool. He was like, we want you to dance for him, give him a good lap dance and it's a going away present. And in my mind, I didn't understand. I did not understand. I was busy. It's my 3rd night. And a lot of times when you're a new dancer, you're busy because you're new there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'll dance for him, whatever. And he's like, cool, let's do a table dance. And there's so many different dances. There's table dances, there's VIP, there's champagne room, whatever. At this club, a table dance was $10. It was on the floor. It was, you keep your clothes on. Excuse my hiccups. Cue the hiccups. And it was like on the floor. You just dance to one song.
Okay.
$10. You don't have to take anything off. Mm-hmm. I was like, cool. I'll dance for your buddy. He grabbed my hand and walked me over. There's an urn in the chair.
I knew that's where this was going.
There was an urn in the chair.
Going
and
away.
He was like, my buddy, he was in a motorcycle accident. This is for him.
Oh my.
This is going away president. And they were regulars of the club, so they always came there with their buddy. So they brought his urn to the strip club.
It's cute and weird.
This was my first week in a fucking strip club. Excuse my French.
Not week 1.
Y'all, I done told y'all I was sentimental.
Week 1.
I was
Dancing for dead people.
I was a little bit crying and everything. I was like in my mind, I'm like, I don't know anything about this guy. I hope he enjoys my dance. I did it on him. They were recording. I don't even know where the videos are. They were recording everything because they were like, can we record this? I'm like, hey, look, if you do it and you don't get in trouble, that's fine. I'm giving you consent. You're good. You record it. I didn't take anything off, so you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I danced on him. I put my little booty on that urn. I backing it up on that urn. You know what I'm saying? And he tipped me like $100 in ones and everything. Paid for the dance, tipped and gave me a bunch. Like, and in my mind, I will never, ever forget that.
Amen.
That guy, the main guy.
Somebody got their last dying wish. Someone got it. You taped me in that strip
My
club,
brother-in-law, I think he
and
wrote,
you let
wrote
her
a song
booty
about
rub.
Listen, when I'm dead.
that regular though, he still keeps in touch with me to this day.
Oh.
And that was like almost going on 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I guess almost 10 years ago. And he still keeps in touch with me to this day.
Odd but touching.
So that's the first one. So it's like
Okay.
it was weird, but it was also like it was just strange that happened to me.
Yeah.
In the first
and
week.
I'm sentimental, so I was just like, hell yeah. And I'm like literally crying, and I'm just like grieving this person I don't know, and I'm like dancing for him,
Cried in
for
the
his
club.
remains.
That's
And
a
I'm
good
like,
one.
what the hell? Like,
That's a good one.
So yeah, that's strange. And then okay, as far as weird, just like if y'all really want that,
Yes.
there is. Oh God, I almost don't want to
Come
say
on.
this because what if the guy sees it and he's like, yeah, she's talking about me. I'm
It
enjoying
doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're not saying names.
Right. No.
Nah, if for some reason this person ever sees this, they'll know who they are.
Well,
That's okay.
Okay.
congratulations, you made it on board. There.
There was. It keeps saying I keep thinking you're saying something else. I know you're saying poor, but it sounds like porn.
Oh, you
Porn
want it
power.
to be porn and power?
Yeah, like I keep hearing that. I keep hearing porn and power, and I'm just like,
So that
That's
brings
what
out
we
your
name
freak
our
side.
strip club.
And power.
Porn
Okay.
power.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll get to that next week.
we'll get to that.
Well, we're gonna hear your freaky side here in a second. Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
okay.
Porn
So this
power.
dude, this guy, and he would ask this of every dancer. He didn't want to be danced on. He didn't need any of that. He would come and tip me like $1 or $2 on stage and be like, yeah, come see me in my seat. And I'm like, okay. And at first dancing, when I first started dancing, I didn't know. I didn't understand. So I went over, I'm like, okay, hey buddy, you took me on stage, a couple bucks, thank you, what's up? He's like, look, all I want is for you to put your hand over my mouth and I'll pay you for a song, like to dance, So like he would pay dance prices, but I would just have to sit in his lap and put my hand over his mouth. But he wanted me to be like
So he couldn't breathe?
Almost like in a headlock, but then and he wanted me to be rough, but then I did that a few times. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I was like, look, I'm not doing it for one song for $10 anymore. If you want to do a dance with me, we got to go to the VIP room. Because I was like, I have to make more for this. This is just, to me, this is giving you something.
Right.
I know this is giving you what you want.
Yeah.
So then he did that for a while. All right. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna deal with it. Okay. Well, then one time in the VIP room or the champagne room, whatever you want to call it, I was doing that, but then he started sticking his tongue out and licking my hand.
Oh, absolutely not.
So what'd you do?
I took my hand away. I was like, buddy, you can't lick me like that. I just was like, buddy, you can't lick me like that. And he was like, oh, I was just getting into it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm getting into it. I'm like, look, if you don't tip me, extremely tip me, this just can't happen. So he tipped me good that one time, and after that, I was like, all right. So I would spray perfume on my hands, and I would put there's this stuff
that tastes weird.
Yes, there's this stuff that you can put on to help you grip the pole. I would put it all in my hands. I put hand sanitizer, perfume, everything, and then that way, if he ever was like, hey, come hang out, and I would go over there, if he started licking my hand, I would hope it doesn't. I would hope it doesn't taste good.
Right.
Well, he did it like 1 or 2 more times, and I was like, look, dude, like, I don't like that, because in my mind, I'm really OCD. You know me, girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, this is gross. This is gross. And I don't know what you are. I don't know what you got.
Yep.
And literally after the couple times he did that to me, I would go in the dressing room and I would put, because we had rubbing alcohol, I'd rub it all over my hands.
Yeah.
I would literally pour it on my hands and wash my hands really good. Because you don't know what these people fucking have in their
Yep.
mouth. You don't
Yep.
know what kind of diseases they have.
Yep.
And that's whenever, like, he would always come up to me on stage to be like, come see me. I'm like, all right, cool. I would never go see him after that. He did that to me like a few times, and I'm like, because at first I'm like, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I was a new dancer. I was still what was considered a baby stripper.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, when you're there, you're going with the flow. You're trying to make sure you get to everybody. There would be times that I'd have people waiting for dances from me. I'd have a line. And I'm like, I'm trying to get to everybody. And I'm just trying to do my, I'm a customer girl. I want a customer service. I'm trying to do a good job. But that happened a few times, and I was like, look, you can't keep licking my hand. There was even one time I was like, the last time I feel like, I was like, dude, like, quit licking me. And he was like, oh, I'll just get into it. And I'm like, you can't be licking at me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just my hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so he would come and take me on stage, and I would not go up to him anymore because that was weird.
So have you ever danced with a guy where you're like, I may want to take you home with me?
Don't incriminate her on the television.
On the television.
It's okay, Ash.
I mean, okay.
Women have needs, and sometimes you're like, man, he's good arm candy. Like,
okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, a lot of people like, okay, hot guys go to the strip club. There's tons of hot guys that go to the strip club. Okay, tons of that. Hot guys don't pay shit. They don't give you money. They're there so that way they can try to make themselves feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes they'll just reject, or, maybe they'll get a few dances from somebody, but it's not really like that. The majority of men that do visit strip clubs are just regular Joes. They're just regular guys. They're old guys. They don't look good, by society standards.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. I mean, personally, I like body hair.
Ew.
And so sometimes if a guy has like really hairy legs or like a hairy arm, I'm just like, okay, cool. You're making my night a little bit better. Rubbing your arm, we're talking. You're tipping me a little bit. Like, cool. That's good. That's cool. And then I'm like, all right, I miss my boyfriend. This is boring. You're not paying me enough to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never had. I know it sounds boring, but I've never had a moment where I'm just like, ooh, this guy is so hot. I want to take him home.
See, I think that's the difference between girls and guys. Like, guys go here, and I feel like, for instance, if you get a married man or a man in a relationship, they're like looking for an out for something, right? They're looking for something that they don't get at home.
Yeah.
So they're I'm going to go here and I'm going to get it. And this woman's just here doing a job, trying to make $1,
They're
right?
going to do exactly what I need them to do.
Yes.
Right.
Whereas,
So they get paid. Mm-hmm.
And they don't see it as that. Like,
Yeah.
some of these men look at it as, I'm going to go to a strip club.
And I'm going to pick up a chick.
Exactly.
No, truly,
I'm going
they
to take
do.
her back to a hotel. I'm going to bang the shit out of her. And I'm going to have the needs met that I want met.
And I'll tell you the truth right now, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Sex work is real. It does exist.
Yes.
That shit does happen.
Yep.
And it is valid.
Yep.
Okay? It is valid. That shit does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It does. A lot of people think that it's just a myth, but it does happen.
Yep.
Now, I have never been a full service sex worker.
Yeah.
I've never offered full service just because I don't feel comfortable doing that type of work.
Right.
But how many women have you worked with that has?
more than I probably even know.
Exactly.
And my opinion is there is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Okay? As far as me as the businesswoman and my fellow colleagues, as far as we're concerned, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, if a man who has a family and has a wife and he comes and does that, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing because we're not privy to their life.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's all
when
on
it
him.
all boils down to it, more communication, more honesty, understand shit's real. Okay? No one's innocent. Okay? But I deal with this stuff online all the time, and I've even thought about even posting like, hey, if you're a wife or a girlfriend and your husband follows me or whatever, and you don't want him following me, I will block him.
I seen a TikTok about that.
I will block that motherfucker.
This woman.
If it's causing you anything. He's done.
But I feel like it all starts with the man. It
That's
does.
That's what I was about to say.
Right.
It does.
It's not on us.
Right.
It's on the man.
They don't have problems.
And
with
they
that.
have built
They
this.
got problems
This
at
they
home.
have built this social construct.
And it falls back to like my live that I've been doing for July. Fill your cup up, women. The men are supposed to fill the women's cup up, right? And if they're not filling the cup up, they're going to go out and they're going to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And that woman's at home taking care of the kids, the house, everything else. And this man's free to do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah.
So he's out here, say, at strip clubs, trying to pick up the next woman to take her back to a hotel to get a quick fix.
Yeah, and maybe he's not necessarily. Maybe he knows. He knows he's not going to succeed in that.
Yep.
But it's to stroke his ego.
Yep.
Okay. And it's all boils down to the fact that men won't even communicate with the women in their lives.
Exactly.
They won't. They won't. I have had regulars at the strip club. I have had regulars from my online businesses literally be like, well, my wife is this and my wife is that. I'm like, look, okay, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go and you're going to go do this chore for your wife.
Yep.
Okay? You're going to go and you're going to do this and you're going to buy her that. Okay? You send me this much. Okay, you're going to send her twice as much.
Exactly. And I know men that
Because I know how I would feel. I know how I would feel.
Right.
I do this shit. I do this shit for a fucking living.
Yeah.
I know how I would feel if my husband was going behind my back. Okay?
Exactly.
Behind my back. And paying girls online or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know how I would feel. Even though I do that for a living.
Yeah.
I, as a woman, know how other women would feel.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like, why are you not pouring that money into your family, into your kids?
Yes.
Versus going out here pouring it into a stripper that's just a one-night stand.
Yeah.
That's
And the
just
thing
a
is, us
quick
as strippers,
fix.
we're going to take that money because you know what? We need the money.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry to you and your family, but you know what? He's here. He's paying me. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? Speaking of weird, let's go to crazy. Back in North Carolina, I was doing a fucking VIP room for a motherfucker. Excuse my French, okay? This dude was getting a VIP room. His wife comes inside the club.
Oh boy.
Going off.
What happens?
Bouncer says, hey girl, your wife's here. Or he says, hey man, your wife's here. I immediately hear the word wife. I jump off him. I'm like, dude, you need to take care of it. Okay. A few weeks later, she came in. They came in together. Okay. Because they've been in together. I didn't know that was his wife. He never said he had a wife. Came in together. And she was like, look, this is how it made me feel. And I'm like, look, I don't want you to feel that way. And I'm like, I'll give you some free dances. You want some free dances? I dance on her all night long. Because you're important to me. Couples come into the club. I look at the woman. I don't give a shit about your man. Where's his wallet? Number one. You should have his wallet. Number one, you're in control of that. You are the goddess here. You are the prize. And a lot of women forget that.
Yep.
Okay?
Exactly.
And these men let us forget that. And I understand, okay, I understand. Men want what they want. Men, women, they, them, in betweens, everyone deserves to be worshipped and valued. That's why I do what I do.
I love that.
Mhm.
What game we're gonna play?
Game time. Should we do teach how to twerk game or? Never
I ain't
mind.
got time for that. Ooh, we're gonna have to do a part.
That'll
two
take
with
a
Sam.
while.
Okay, let's see.
Samantha, let me
Let's
see your
do.
cup.
Thank you, baby.
Put a finger down. Okay, we're gonna start
Also,
with 3.
y'all, if I ramble, it's like, hey,
We'll
baby,
get
you're
it.
rambling.
We'll get it.
I'm a rambling.
You get to go
man.
first because you're the guest. 3 fingers. Just 3 of them. There you go. This many, Sam. This many.
How many? 3?
3 fingers.
I can handle
do
more
three,
than that, though.
And Sam is going first.
I can
Sam
handle more
says,
than 3
I
fingers.
can handle this.
I mean, 1 is boring. 2 is boring. 3,
You just need 3.
There you go, Samantha.
3. Okay, we got a
Okay.
few chapters to read here.
Okay, we're doing 3.
Sam's going
Let's go.
first.
So start with Sam,
Yep.
Ash, me, and then Danielle.
Okay.
Okay. Never have I ever.
No.
Oh,
Put a finger down if.
Put a finger down if.
put a finger down if.
You're going first. You're saying.
Oh, do I say something?
Yeah.
Oh, put a finger down if I've never peed outside while being drunk.
Oh. No.
Wait a minute. I have peed outside a lot while being drunk. So do I keep my finger up?
You keep
Yeah.
your finger up. Yep. Ash.
Never. Wait. See, I messed up too. Put a finger down
I don't think you
if
guys know the rules to this game.
Rules are subjective.
you've ever kissed a girl.
So put a finger down if you have.
Yeah.
Oh. Never have I ever been a
Nope.
stripper.
Put a finger down if you've ever been a stripper. That's how you say that.
Wait a minute. Y'all be
Oh,
taking
wait.
your clothes off at the end of the day, though, right?
Nope, for money. There we go.
Put a finger down if you have stripped for money.
There you go. Put a
Do I
finger,
put all my fingers down? No.
put a finger down if you've ever had an OnlyFans account. Oh, Sam's out. She lost.
We're fisting this. We're fist.
Ashley's turn.
You lost. She lost.
That's
Or
true.
did I
Sam
win?
lost.
She says I won.
I
Because
won.
I got the fingers down fastest.
There you go.
All
Wait
right,
a minute.
Ash.
You don't
Okay.
have an OnlyFans? You don't know that? If you do, let me know because I'm gonna subscribe to it.
Okay. Ashley's
You
turn.
want my OnlyFans?
I'll
She said
subscribe
not
to
you.
it.
Ashley, you have
Ashley,
nine
you ain't got no
fingers.
one.
Let's go.
You ain't-
I ain't got
I thought you
OnlyFans.
did. Wait a minute.
I got fee finders.
I thought you did.
I stripped for money.
Feet finders?
Okay.
Does that work?
That will get
Girl,
you blocked on
yes.
Facebook.
Look, I got.
Well,
Girl,
guys,
I will
so
subscribe to
Men
you.
love it.
I will subscribe to you.
Ashley, it's your turn.
Oh. Put a finger down if you've ever. Oh no, I don't know.
Oh my God, she's pulling a Valerie right
Oh
now.
no, I want to say something bad and I didn't
Do
want
it.
to say
Do
it.
it.
Say it. It's
Just do it.
Put a
unfiltered. Just
finger
say
down if you've ever done anal.
Put a finger down if you've ever had an orgy.
Wait a minute. What is an orgy?
We already said
Two
two
plus
plus.
people.
It's 2 plus.
2 plus?
Two
Two plus people.
What all has to happen?
Anything.
Whatever. I mean, you can hang out with a cookout
Cut
at
your
that point.
fingers
Right,
off.
Danielle?
Put a finger down if you've ever been rejected for a blowjob.
Ooh.
Like you come up to your man and he's like, "Nah, not today."
What?
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Some men apparently. I've heard. Anyway,
Wait.
hold up.
Yes, but I think he might have been into guys.
But you're already out.
Clueless, like 100% clueless. 100% clueless.
Okay.
Y'all remember that scene on Clueless?
Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
my God, I felt just like her.
All right, let's do this. You say something, and we're going to see if we put
Okay,
our
okay.
fingers down.
Oh God.
Put a finger down.
You can't do that. She's known that my
It
whole
doesn't
life.
care.
She's
doesn't
known me
care.
my whole life.
Okay, hold on.
It's going to be fun.
Okay.
All right. I don't know that much about you. Put a finger down if you've ever crushed on a girl.
Wait.
You're not even
They're-
fun.
No, they're not. They're not.
Okay, put a finger down if you've ever considered doing like naughty content for money.
Why not?
Valerie, you're
I
so
look so
funny.
sad. I look over at
Ash,
Valerie's fingers and
do
I'm
it.
like,
Huh?
You gotta say one now.
Put a finger down if you've ever went into a naughty store.
I used to work at one.
okay.
I know.
Yes,
Bullshit.
no.
I have to give Valerie somehow. Fuddy duddy.
okay.
over
She
here.
won.
Put a finger down if
Oh.
you've never. Put a finger down if you've ever tipped a male stripper.
I've never been to.
Have you even seen a male
Valerie.
stripper?
You've
Valerie
never been
has
to no
not-
Chippendales?
I went to this
We've
one,
determined
and I
that
thought they was
Val
all
has
gay.
not lived.
So me and the
Well,
girls
honey,
just
they
sat back there and
are
talked to each
usually.
other.
True.
It was not
Okay,
fun.
put a finger down if
Look,
you
I'm the only one left.
put a finger down if you've ever been to a strip club. Okay,
There we go.
put a finger down if you've ever gotten a lap dance. Put a finger down if you've ever tipped a stripper's G-string.
What the hell did you
What
do
were you
at
doing
there?
at a strip club?
Put a finger down if you at least tipped it while at a strip club.
Oh!
So I went
We're
to
gonna have to go to a strip club.
So I went to a strip club in Cancun because Cancun was our senior trip.
Okay.
I
Was
went
it
with,
guys?
I went with all guys.
Okay.
I was the only girl
Okay.
because the other girls, they were pregnant or they've already had babies.
Their girlfriends is this?
No, in our senior class.
Oh, okay,
They
okay,
already
okay.
had babies. It was already moms, right?
Right.
So I was not. So I wanted to go to Cancun because this was our senior trip. So it was nothing but guys. So I had my own hotel room, and then all the guys shared a hotel room. And then the teachers, it was a husband and wife, they shared their room. So the guys decided that, hey, we want to go to a strip club. And I would not go by myself because I knew everything that happened in Cancun.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll go with you guys. So they went and they did their thing, and I sat at the bar, and I had Jello shot after Jello shot, and it was all good for me. And then when they got ready, I was like, all right, let's go.
No.
I'm at the stage.
You want to know something though? If you're ever dragged to a strip club and you're not like, yeah, let's do it, the safest place for you to stay is the bar. And so
See?
you did good, baby. You did
See?
good.
I was
you
like,
go.
just keep those Jello shots coming. I don't
Yeah.
care what
I'm
they
gonna be
cost.
front
The
row at
thing is though, had you I don't know about that club, but if you were ever at any of the clubs I was at,
Yeah.
had you been open to any type of entertainment, honey, you are the prize, baby. That's all I gotta say.
See, I was always looking at the horror
I'd be like,
stories.
honey, you don't even have to tip.
Like,
Just
here
let me
I
hang out
am.
with you.
On my senior trip, I'm the only female with 5 guys, I think, that went. And I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not doing this.
And how old were you?
18.
18.
So I was like, Like, I
And
want
it's
to get back
different.
home.
It's different though when you're 18 and you're going to a strip club. It's different because, like, okay, so the Rhino here in Lexington, that's the one I've been going to. I've
Is
never.
that the one by Sam's Club?
It's on
the one-
Athens Boonesboro.
Next to
Spearmint
there's
Rhino.
like a La Quinta and a.
Not the.
Okay.
Right next to
is it
Interstate.
Cheetahs?
It's Cheetahs now. Is next
Okay,
to Sam, but
yeah.
that's what
Deja
you're thinking
Vu.
about.
Yeah.
Or not Deja Vu, but
Now it's
Platinum and
Yep,
Cheetahs,
yep,
whatever.
yep.
I've never been there. I've never ever been to a
Okay.
strip club for fun. I've never been to one
We got
for
to
fun.
go.
I've only been while I'm working.
We got.
I see.
Let's do it. Let's go tonight.
Thank you, Sam, for being
Thank
on
you,
the
Sam.
podcast. We love you. We're gonna have to do a part 2 with Sam.
We'll have to do a few more parts. I'm down.
Yep.
I'm down for it.
Alrighty.
Thank you for Jay Mattingly for letting us come into your distillery,
Yes.
for letting us do our podcast here, for supplying the bourbon.
For giving Val too much.
Yes, and of course, if you guys have not been to Frankfort, Kentucky, to Jay
You're
Mattingly's
done.
distillery, please come out and check them out. They have wonderful bourbons. They have a wonderful gift shop. They have a sitting area where you can bring your kids and they can sit over here while you're at the bar taste testing bourbons.
Mhm.
They also have the coolest stuff downstairs where you can create your own bourbon.
Yes.
And they
Yeah,
do.
What?
I want to shout them out for. They just made a bottle, 310 bottles of veterans bottle. So if you guys can get out, they only made 310. They only have a limited supply left. If you are a
Ooh,
veteran,
got
you
to come get
definitely
those.
want that bottle. So it's Palmea I don't have a bottle here on the table with us, but they only have a few bottles left. So please get out and get that bottle because, I mean, if you're a veteran, you definitely want that bottle, right? And we can't express our love and gratitude to Jay Mattingly for letting us come in here and just open up their distillery to us. And then plus, if you are a woman entrepreneur, if you're a woman in business, we're going to have our networking group here at the end of August. Stay tuned for that flyer to come out. If you're not following us on all platforms, please do it.
We'll see you next week.
Wow, today.
As always, the Bourbon Boss Babes would like to thank our sponsors, including our host, J. Mattingly Distillery, located in Frankfort, Kentucky. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Poor Empowered podcast, please contact Danielle at dmorgan@bourbonbossbabes.com. We'll see you next week.